President Biden facing an ongoing drumbeat of calls for him to end his re-election campaign, including now actor and Democratic fundraiser George Clooney. Most congressional Democrats not speaking publicly about their views, and Nancy Pelosi towing a careful line, not saying Biden should stay in the race, just that he should make the decision. But a major concern within the party is what the implications of Biden staying in the race could now mean for other congressional races. And joining us now is Tory Gavito, the co-founder and president of Way to Win, a progressive donor network focused on down ballot races. Tory, it's good to see you. So, I mean, listen, what we're seeing with Biden right now, obviously this is historic. The drama continues. What does it mean, Tory, for those down ballot races? What are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Look, the down ballot races have always been important. There is one goal that Democrats have for 2024, and it's defeat MAGA, and it's to resecure the trifecta. There's no getting rid of Trump and Trumpism without securing the White House, getting enough votes in the Senate to pass rules reforms so that we can take back our freedoms, like on reproductive rights, and getting back the House. And so it's really been an all above all strategy for the entire year. And now is a time to double down across all layers. We can't walk away from the presidential campaign just in the same way that we're not seeing Democrats walk away from the down ballot races either.
And so, Tory, what does that mean then in terms of who should be running for president on the Democratic side? I mean, doesn't it matter to the down ballot races who that person is and whether down ballot candidates and donors believe that that candidate can win?
In our view, we can't waste any time in the who should, what should, is Biden in, is Biden out. We have to focus on what we can control now. The current Democratic ticket is President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. We did some polling that we released this week on Vice President Kamala Harris, knowing that she's the second player on the ticket and she should be lifted up. We wanted to see where Democrats and independents stood on her likability and her favorables. And she did really well. She's doing really well with young voters. She's doing really well with voters of color. These are exactly elements of the party that need to come back in, elements of the winning coalition we need to win in November. And this is up and down the ballot. So we're focusing on what we can do now to make sure the ticket we have now is bolstered and that there aren't any impacts on the down ballot.
Tory, on our podcast here, Opening Bid, Yahoo Finance's executive editor, Brian Sozzi, he sat down with Tusk Ventures founder, CEO, and by the way, Democratic donor, Bradley Tusk, and he's called for Biden to withdraw. But here's what he had to say about down ballot races. Take a listen to this.
You know, I've had members of Congress and other elected officials since the debate call me for money like people do every day. And I've just said, look, if you come out and say that Biden should withdraw, I'm happy to support you. But if you don't have the guts to just do something as simple as that, where 80% of the public is already there, like, I'm not going to give you money. Like, one congressman said to me, well, you have to give me money because we House Democrats are more important than ever because the president's so weak. He's so weak because you don't say anything, right?
So, Tory, what's your reaction when you hear that?
I mean, the beautiful thing about American democracy is that it's a democracy and that we have to listen to everyone who's participating in this American experiment, from donors to the grassroots. And the grassroots right now are deeply engaged across all levels of the ballot. Let's take Arizona, for example. Arizona has local organizers in Arizona, local elected leaders like Raquel Teran. They have been fighting to make Arizona a more progressive, more tolerant space since 2010, when they fought against Joe Arpaio. And here they are, still taking on the bid. They've got an opportunity to keep Arizona in the blue column for Democrats for President Biden. They have an opportunity to send Gallego to the Senate. They have an opportunity to send Raquel Teran to the House. And they're also fighting to take back their legislature, an effort that's been ongoing. We don't want to walk away from efforts like the Arizona locals. We don't want to walk away from efforts like that exist across this country, where the grassroots are fighting tooth and nail to keep our democracy intact. So, you know, whatever the donors are saying about what factions they're lining up with or not, the bottom line is we've got one goal: win in November And to do that, we support the whole ticket, lift up Kamala, make sure we understand, lift her up, make sure folks understand that she does really well with parts of our base that need to come home, and then support the grassroots. You can't walk away this cycle from voter registration that needs to get done, field work that needs to get done, along with the air war.
And I also want to ask you about the donors themselves. Are you focusing more, and are you finding that Democrats writ large are focusing more on the sort of small dollar donors, that grassroots that you're talking about, versus the big money donors?
It's everyone. We need everyone to support Democratic coalitions right now. So we know that there are big billionaires that back Trump and Trump's faction. We've heard the news reports that Trump has been meeting with big business and billionaires, offering them big promises. There's no way to compete with the billionaire class without bringing together a grassroots army, along with political donors who are of higher net worth, who believe in multiracial democracy. And so everybody is pulling on all their networks right now to do the right thing and stand for this democratic experiment.
Tory, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.